Welcome, cosmic adventurers. Today we're diving into one of the most gripping questions in modern space exploration. The tantalizing possibility that Jupiter's moon Europa, an icy orb hundreds of millions of miles from Earth, could harbor intelligent life beneath its frozen crust. If that doesn't tickle your sense of wonder, I'm not sure what will. Grab your snorkels, folks, because we're about to descend into the dark, hidden ocean of Europa and ask, what if we're not alone down there? Europa may be roughly the size of Earth's moon, but don't let its unassuming stature fool you. Decades of research, starting with NASA's Galileo spacecraft in the 1990s, suggest there's a global ocean locked beneath Europa's ice shell, an ocean that could be twice the volume of all Earth's oceans combined. So, the phrase cosmic fishbowl isn't too far off, and if cosmic fish exist, who's to say some aren't a little more brainy than we expect? How is that ocean staying liquid so far from the sun? Tidal flexing. Giant Jupiter's gravitational pull causes Europa's interior to flex and heat, keeping its subsurface sea gloriously watery rather than a cosmic popsicle. Add in the possibility of hydrothermal vents, like those on Earth that host entire ecosystems in perpetual darkness, and you've got conditions that might foster microbial life. But let's go further. Imagine that some of these microbes evolved across eons into complex multicellular organisms, eventually forging rudimentary forms of intelligence. It might sound like science fiction, but as we've learned from our own planet's deep-sea biodiversity, life can be astonishingly resilient and inventive. Even more intriguing is the idea that Europa's thick ice crust might insulate its ocean from harmful radiation, creating a stable environment for evolutionary experiments. Earth's oceans, shaped by sunlight and storms, contrast sharply with Europa's dark seas, yet hydrothermal vents could offer energy-rich oases. Over immense spans of time, evolution can accomplish extraordinary things, nudging single-celled life toward complexities we can barely imagine. This possibility of hidden realms teeming with aquatic beings is both exhilarating and sobering. Here on Earth, life can get pretty bizarre when left in the deep. Bioluminescent signals, strange body shapes, and novel modes of communication, nature doesn't hesitate to innovate. Now, imagine extrapolating that to Europa's oceanic realm, which could have existed for untold millions or billions of years. If an intelligent species did arise there, it wouldn't just be about bigger brains. They might harness sonar-like communication, chemical signaling, or even subtle electric fields to navigate and interact. Fire-based technology is a no-go underwater, so perhaps they'd adapt other inventive ways to shape their environment. Maybe building structures from mineral deposits or using complex biological secretions as adhesives. The possibilities are as vast as that hidden ocean. It's both thrilling and humbling to contemplate a civilization evolving right under the ice, never seeing sunlight, relying on geothermal and chemical energy. If they reached a certain technological threshold, might they have carved tunnels in the ice for living space or discovered ways to harness Jupiter's intense magnetic field? Would they develop cultural norms around energy consumption, resource management, or collective defense against intruders? And if so, how would they react if a loud, clunky, clearly alien probe suddenly appeared in their territory? These are the questions that shift our perspective away from idle speculation and toward genuine ethical considerations about space exploration. Furthermore, if such beings have language, art, or science, it would challenge our anthropocentric notions of what intelligence looks like. Without sunlight, they might use bioluminescent displays as a visual language or perhaps rely on complex vibrations. Tools made from ice, organic materials, or minerals could stand in for our metal-based technologies. By contemplating these scenarios, we inch closer to understanding just how diverse intelligence might be when shaped by radically different environments. Right now, NASA's Europa Clipper mission is scheduled to launch in the mid-2020s, aiming to perform close flybys of Europa. Its objectives? Map the ice shell, sample any water vapor plumes erupting from surface cracks, and figure out exactly how thick that ice might be. Though it won't directly search for advanced alien life, it'll tell us more about Europa's habitability potential, knowledge that could pave the way for landers and submersibles. After all, nobody drills into a 10 to 20 kilometer thick ice shell without some serious homework. Picture the tension in mission control when that first submersible's camera feed flickers to life. Scientists lean forward, hearts in throats, as the camera pans across water, alien rocks, maybe some microbial mats. And then, a sudden flash of something unmistakably artificial. Could it be a structure, a sculpted shape, an otherworldly settlement? If that doesn't send chills down your spine, you're made of tougher stuff than me. The euphoria and dread of knowing we might not be alone has fueled countless science fiction stories, yet seeing it unfold in reality would be an entirely different experience. And that's just day one. By day two, governments worldwide would likely hold emergency sessions to figure out if we just encountered an aquatic civilization within our own solar system. Philosophers, ethicists, and armchair pundits would argue over how, if at all, we should engage. Religious leaders might grapple with how a second genesis of intelligent life fits into sacred texts, while politicians debate funding for rapid response missions that go beyond simple reconnaissance. We'd also love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think humanity should respond if we truly find ourselves face to face with an extraterrestrial ocean civilization? Share your ideas, questions, and even your wildest theories. You never know. Your perspective might be the spark that leads us toward a new what-if scenario in our continuing cosmic explorations. After all, a discovery of this magnitude isn't just about scientists in lab coats. It's a global conversation, one that touches every aspect of who we are and who we might become. When humanity finally initiates contact with an advanced Europan civilization, two broad possibilities loom on the horizon. Friendly encounters. In this uplifting scenario, the Europans react to our submersibles with curiosity, or at least cautious cooperation. Communication might begin with patterned signals, blinking lights, or prime numbers as a cosmic handshake. Over time, a genuine dialogue could blossom, laying the groundwork for cultural exchanges and collaborative research. Earthly scientists might learn about Europan bioluminescent art forms, submarine architecture, or the intricacies of living in perpetual darkness, all while striving to convey aspects of our own world. Governments worldwide would rush to craft interplanetary communication protocols, fostering an unprecedented era of cosmic friendship. Imagine entire conferences devoted to bridging the language gap between water-bound beings and air-breathing scientists. Education systems might integrate new courses on interspecies ethics, and trade could take on a bizarre new dimension if we discover items or compounds unique to Europa. Such a scenario could unite humanity under a shared purpose, forging bonds with beings who remind us that we're not the only thinkers in this vast cosmic sea. On the other hand, our attempts at contact could meet with aggression or fear. The Europans might dismantle our probes, jam their signals, or erect barriers warning us to stay away. Whether motivated by territorial instincts or concern over contamination, such hostility would raise complex ethical and security dilemmas. Planetary protection efforts would intensify. We'd worry about transmitting Earth microbes to Europa or returning with unknown pathogens. Meanwhile, diplomatic crises would erupt among international organizations, all struggling to decide whether we should risk further contact or respect their apparent wish for isolation. A swift response might come from Earth's militaries, anxious to prevent a worst-case scenario of interplanetary conflict. Yet, brandishing weapons against an aquatic species in a sub-ice ocean is easier said than done. The notion of space war takes on new meaning when the battlefield is a pitch-black realm of floating alien communities. Ultimately, the knowledge that we share the solar system with intelligent neighbors, friend or foe, would force us to reinvent our notions of defense, negotiation, and mutual coexistence. In an optimistic future, we'd develop probes that are quieter and better shielded, maybe even designed to mimic local life forms. Over time, we'd map out their social structures, languages, and technologies. If they're open to contact, imagine the cultural exchanges. We offer Earth's art, mathematics, or the wonders of a starry sky. They show us how to live sustainably under miles of ice, harness hydrothermal energy, or build cohesive communities in perpetual darkness. The synergy could be breathtaking, elevating both civilizations in ways we can barely predict. Perhaps they've mastered advanced biotech or possess neurological insights that transform our medicine. We could teach them about rocketry or astronomy if they're interested in venturing to the surface or beyond. This is the heart of a best-case scenario, a mutual uplift fueled by curiosity and respect. But let's not kid ourselves. Peaceful cooperation is hardly guaranteed. We might fumble through clumsy communication attempts inciting fear or hostility. They might see us as polluters or cosmic pests. In extreme cases, if they have formidable defenses, we could be in over our heads, literally. If advanced life is thriving on Europa, the ripple effects don't end there. Ganymede's suspected subsurface ocean becomes more intriguing, and Saturn's Enceladus or Titan get renewed urgency for exploration. If life evolved independently on Europa, who can say our solar system isn't brimming with secrets at every turn? The sheer number of water-bearing worlds might change the question from "are we alone?" to "how crowded is this cosmic ocean?" And if multiple worlds harbor unique intelligences, we might soon be juggling the complexities of a multi-world neighborhood, each with its own claims, resources, and challenges. So, what if we actually discovered intelligent life on Europa? We'd confront a deluge of questions about ethics, exploration, communication, and our cosmic role. We might feel a heady mix of awe, fear, excitement, and above all, humility. Because once you find neighbors in your own backyard, you realize the universe may be overflowing with untold stories, each as profound as the next. All we have to do is dive deeper. And that, fellow explorers, could be humankind's greatest dive. If that prospect fires your imagination, remember that exploration isn't limited to space agencies and billionaires with rockets. Our collective curiosity shapes the trajectory of discovery. And if you enjoyed exploring this cosmic documentary, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with fellow space enthusiasts. Let us know your ideas for future what-if documentaries, whether they involve alien civilizations on distant worlds or hypothetical events right here on Earth. Your imagination keeps us pushing the boundaries of cosmic curiosity. The adventure, it seems, has only just begun, and who knows what new discoveries await us beyond the icy shell of Europa and into the boundless frontier of space.